Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
All right, try it one more time. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right, okay. Let's go ahead and write your names or whatever you need to do, quick, all that good stuff. Just stand up. You can keep your papers in your hands and stuff like that. You don't need to worry about anywhere else. But once you bring your name and your papers and you got ready, go ahead and stand up. Forgive us as we still stretch. We had practice last night. Pretty tough, sore little. Anywho, all right. So my name is Jason, and my name is Jake Wheeler. Jake Wheeler, right? So I am known in the Kendo realm as Davis Sensei. Jake wouldn't have a title per se; it would be Kohai or Senpai or something like that, meaning a higher level student, right? But in the realm of Kendo, a Sensei means that I've gone all the way up and I've passed a specific test. About 10 years to get to that level. And in Kendo, you go all the way up to the 8th level, 8th Dan. You won't say black belt. Dan. And that takes about 25 years to get there. So very few amount of people out there. Alright. But we are going to present to you Kendo, and that's going to connect to Japanese Budo culture. Anybody know what Budo means? Yes. It has some roots in Buddhism. There is a little bit of a connection there. Also, Confucianism and a lot of other isms from that area, Hinduism and whatnot. How about martial arts? Anybody know martial arts?
Yeah.
Sure. What can you name some martial arts?
Kung
Kung Fu. Yeah.
Karate.
Karate. Yeah. Karate. Taekwondo. Judo. Aikido. It really depends on what you're doing, right? So we have a lot of martial arts. Okay. So I'm going to make a very small distinction between Budo and martial arts. And I'm going to get you to help me do it. So, has anybody practiced martial arts before? Sure. And why did you go to martial arts? Well, actually, what martial arts did you practice first?
I've done a karate birthday. Yeah.
Karate birthday party? So you went to some event and they had karate there and you did it, right? Anybody else ever practice any kind of martial arts? Alright, fair enough. So these are the answers that we usually get. Alright? My parents sent me. They wanted me to become more confident. They wanted me to be able to defend myself. They wanted me to go somewhere after school, things like that, right? Okay, and that's a normal thing in our culture per se. How about in Japanese culture? Why do you think they would send their kiddos to martial art? Alright. So for protection, I'm hearing? Alright, yes ma'am. Ding, 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 ding. Winner. Now, it's not for everyone, so I don't want you to go at this with this stereotypical across the board that all Japanese families do the same thing. That's not the case. However, there is a sense when Japanese parents sit down at the table at night and they decide, hey, where do we want to send our child to? Do we want to send them to music class? Do we want to send them to martial arts or whatnot? They're thinking about how martial arts, in our case, Kendo, can reinforce their culture. All right? Now, I have a better question. Are we Japanese? No. Right? So how is it that we came to do a very, I'm going to use the term rare. Right? There's only one Kendo version. One in Greenville, there's one in Charleston, there's one in Savannah, there's one in Charlotte. That's it for us, close to us. Several in Atlanta, so it's not as popular. I could go to rock and hit a Taekwondo place or a karate place or something like that. That's more popular. So how is it we think that we came to do the Japanese martial art in little old Columbia, South Carolina? And I'm from there, so I can say that. Yes, ma'am. All right, to learn more about their culture. Now, let me re-ask that question, okay, for clarity. How did Kendo get to Columbia, South Carolina? Fast.
Maybe because of your family members.
All right, could be family members. Immigrants, yes, right? So what type of immigrants do we have that are coming here that would bring Kendo? Asian immigrants, very good. Now, for what reasons would someone come here? Maybe to escape communism, maybe what else? Yes, ma'am. Say it one more time. Yeah, job opportunities. I think you said skipping war or poverty, right, too? That's also correct. What term is that called in the realm of geography? Say it again. Pull factor? Survey says? Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Depends on the perspective.
All right.
Only to this country you're pushing away from.
Sure. So a lot of students last week they grade for a while. They forced Kendo among all students. So it's kind of a sore subject inside Korea. But still, like, I got my stuff doing Japanese martial art in Korea. And that came and they moved over. Not in that case to skateboard, but they go to pause. Right? Okay. Any questions so far? Perfect. Now, manners. I told you earlier that Japanese parents often send their students to martial arts to reaffirm, also reinforce some of the cultural expectations. Manners is very big in Japanese. Very. Even the way in which you talk to someone, their age being higher, their age being lower, changes the way you use the verb. Right? Even changes the way you bow. So we really, really think about manners while we're in this. I'm going to teach you some manners today. And then you're going to say it's fine. Okay? Alright. So first thing, in a lineup like so, you take your feet, and your left foot is going to be at 11 o'clock, and your right foot's going to be at 1 o'clock, and you're not quite like, duck walking, but you're just there, and you're a little relaxed, but your back is straight. Okay? When you approach someone in our realm in Kendo, you do it with your back straight. You don't slouch. Okay? Hands by your side. We start practice each time with 3 particular ways. Way is a bow. It's a very physical way of showing respect. Right? We're going to do our standard 15-degree ray, which means that we ray, we look like this right now. We don't, as my 5-year-old says, we don't stick our booty butt out, right? We just hinge at the hips and go down. You keep eye contact like this, right? Okay, that's the ray. So when we say ray, that's what you will do. Now there's 3 types of ray that we perform. And I want you to think about how this could apply to you in your education. I know some of you are like, but think about the mindset that you be in. That immediately when you walk into your classroom, you showed respect to the place in which you are going to improve yourself. I'm going to say that again, because it often goes, because I was the same way. Don't get it twisted. We just roll up in the classroom sometimes. Just however, throw our books down and chit-chat, this and that, maybe doing the do now or something like that. But we show different levels of respect. Now imagine that before you enter that classroom, you actually show a physical form of respect. That's the first classroom, place in which we are. We call it shomen right? Second one, to teaching. Again, no matter what your feelings are about the person who is there to make you better, the fact remains they are there to make you a better person. They are there, right? No matter who shows up to teach you. So if Jake is the only one to show up to practice, he's the sensei for that day, right? So we would all show respect to Jake because he's there to better us. I'm there to show respect to him. So the second one is always with a great deal of teaching. Jake is to respect the sensei. And the third one is to to everyone. So imagine, you enter your classroom, you show respect to the place in which you're going to better yourself. You then show respect to the person who is going to better yourself. And then you show respect to every other person in that room who is in the exact same situation as you are, trying to better themselves. Alright? That's it.
So are you saying that you bow to the room or
Correct.
bow to every single person?
Both. Right? I'm saying we do all 3 things. We bow to the room because traditionally in a lot of Japanese older houses, in some buildings, they have a place, a traditional place where shrine would be, and they would bow and show respect to that whole area. We bow to our culture. Okay? So we're going to sit in a very traditional form called seizai. You stay standing. All right? Now when I say "hey," you're going to do what? Bow. Right? First one is shomeni. Shomeni. Hey! You'll do a very traditional bow. We're going to make a triangle here. The next one is sensei ni. Hey! And the last one is otogai ni. Otogai ni is everyone. Otogai ni. Hey! Alright, great job. Have a seat. We're going to start putting our armor on for you. As always, this has a very historical sense to it. Like this is, other than the products and the manufacturing process, what you see here is really what, maybe not the helmet, what warriors would wear in a battle. So, this is born of Kenjutsu, which is the art of sword fighting. So if you don't know what Kenjutsu is, just imagine a samurai. Right? Someone who went into battle with only 2 swords. Okay, so this is born of it. However, we don't necessarily call ourselves hard way, or they just realize maybe we shouldn't practice with swords anymore. Maybe we can come up with something a little safer. Right? And we have some other things that we use in practice. Even while we are putting our we call this bogu armor, typically speaking, I would never be talking. Right? That would be a very rude thing. I'm teaching you this as a very hard. We would never be talking because this is the time when you get your mind right. Like historically, this is where samurai were preparing to go into battle. That's not the time when you want to talk about, hey, how was your breakfast? How are the kids doing? Are they okay? Did you plant your seeds yet? Like, how much did you harvest this year? That's not the kind of conversation you have when you're in battle. Right? So usually we're very serious and a nice mixture of tense and serious. Right? Even the way in which we put everything on has a very special significance. We don't cross. We don't cross anything. We try to keep everything nice and straight, easy, tight, specific way. It's like mounts. Those are all connected to tradition. And this helmet is made of leather, mostly, with a couple of pieces of bamboo, maybe depending on how expensive yours is or not. It does protect us. It does not. How can I say this so you understand? Right? You put football pads on and get hit, you still feel the hit, right? Yeah, right? It's the same deal. It protects us, but we still feel it. So I don't want to give the impression that there's no pain in Kendo. There definitely is. But, so even the way that we tie everything has special measurement, special meaning behind it. Like I said, no crisscrossing. And this is, kind of what we call takuso. It's very, very mannerful Japanese term. Presenting yourself in a way that involves dignity, right? So putting your armor on, taking your armor off, even the way that you stand up, even the way that you move in Kendo, you're always thinking about takuso, right? How do you look? Are you walking with dignity? Are you standing with dignity? Are you fighting with dignity? Did you take the time to prepare yourself in a manner consistent with what a warrior would do? So I mentioned there are points, right? So what do you think we have to hit to score a point? Any guesses? Call it out. Head, yes, correct. Stomach, very good, yes. Right here, no, yeah, no, right down there. Torso, yes, right here, we heard that. All right, there are 4 ways to score a point in Kendo. All right. The first one is called men. Everybody say men. Now I'm just going to show you what the big strike is. We just typically go in like this. And I have to hit my opponent in a very special area here. And if I don't, then I don't get a point. I also have to give my voice. Right? Some of you said that, people send, or I said it, right? People send their kids to martial arts to build confidence, build strength within themselves. I cannot score a point if I'm quiet. Right? So if I just go, that's no point. Alright, that's a very basic thing. Now, there's a couple other things I gotta do. I gotta show my spirit beforehand. Alright, and I'll show you that a little bit later. Next one is kote. So I can hit his right kote only if it's in this position. And then I can hit his do, which is the side. And then, this is something we only do for higher levels. I can hit right there. Only right there. In a thrust. Okay, that's called ski. Alright, so in this case, I can just. That is the only movement. I know, right? It's kind of scary. That's the only movement where we move backwards. Because I'm not trying to turn Jake into a shrimp steward, right? Okay, alright. So those are the 4. Now there's some other things you gotta do too. You gotta show your voice, you gotta show your spirit, right? So in order for me to show my spirit, I have to vocalize that, right? So we do that not because I'm trying to instill fear in them, but that's a part of it. We do that because Kendo is from yourself, right? One of the purposes of Kendo and one of the things I want you to think about is our job is to win before we fight. You can understand this. Your job is to pass the test before you take it. You should not go into a test not knowing it, right? You should go into the test already knowing it. So you should go into a situation already having confidence knowing that you've won. If he hits me, so what? I've learned. If I hit him, so what? He's learned. Of course we want to win though. Alright? Okay. A couple of things you gotta do, you gotta stomp your feet too. Alright? So that's one of the hardest things to get used to at Kendo is it's a barefoot martial art that requires the stomping of the foot. All right, you want to show them a little? Okay, guys. All right, so again, manage always. You bow. You usually say something called onegaishimasu. Everybody say onegaishimasu. Onegaishimasu. Right before we fight, we say, hey, thank you for joining this experience with us. Thank you for making me better. Let's practice together. That's really what onegaishimasu is. Hold our swords in a way, breathe easy. We even go down to a very interesting position called Sungyo. Then we come up and then we're going to do something called Kirikai. Somebody draws their swords. Ha! Like they're not going to cut butter with that, right? So, string on top. Hey, good job. Hands up. Hands down. And go. Wonderful. Round of applause. All right. Straight line. Facing the crowd. Straight line. This is called a shinai. Shinai your left hand right here. When I say hey, you bow. Okay. Nice side. Next. Wonderful. Good job, everybody. Yay. Trying to keep those.